Hello everyone, Phoenixfiller here, and welcome back to another Farming Simulator 17 Let's Play, Let's Talk. If you guys are new to the series, it's pretty much where we play some Farming Simulator 17, talk about some serious topics. If you guys are fans of Silent Fan, it's kind of like his serious mode where he touches on serious topics. Hence the serious mode name. Anyway, today's topic is gonna be something that is weighed on my mind a lot here lately, I guess you could say. It relates both with like my channel and everyday's world, especially if you are an American. So today's topic is going to be about change. There's a lot of change going on early in the year. First off, people have resolutions, quit smoking or start working out more. That's changes in their everyday life that they're not going to stick with. We all know that. Anyway, I think it's next week, isn't it? The 20th? I could be wrong. Donald Trump will take office. The inauguration takes place. We are going to have a new president. A change in power. It's a huge change for the country. It's not only are we change of power in presidency, but change of power in the Senate, change of power in the House. It's going to be the first time in how long, I can't remember how long they said, that Republicans will have the majority in both Senate and House, and with a Republican president. So it's going to be interesting. There's going to be a lot of changes coming in the next upcoming years, and a lot of people are scared, and that's really what I wanted to focus on in today's video. When people hear change, they're immediately scared. They don't like change, and for certain people, it's okay not to like change. They're really happy with themselves, happy with their way of life and everything, and they really don't want anything to change that. And it scares them anytime something such as a shift in power takes place, because it could affect the way they live. So in many ways, and I've seen this, I've dealt with it personally with people who hate change so much that they act out when things do change. So that's really how I looked at like the whole rioting and everything. When Trump won the election, it was a lot of people were scared of what will change. They put it out there that they're fighting for, what have you. It's not about that. They're scared of change. They're scared that their way of life is going to change because there's a new president. They're afraid of it, and for some cases it's all right. I can imagine those who are not really that invested, which is a lot of my generation, sad to say, that believe everything they see on TV. The media really painted Donald Trump as like the next Hitler, pretty much. So it's okay to be afraid, but just know that it's not that bad. It's not that bad. But it's okay to be concerned with change. There's going to be changes, and just like there was with Obama, there's a lot of change with Obama, the healthcare and everything. Which, sorry, they're already planning on getting rid of, repealing anyway. So it's okay in some ways to be scared of change. It's perfectly normal, and acting out, while it's not the best thing to do, it's a common occurrence when change takes place. A perfect example is when we switched from Farming Simulator 17 on Friday night to 5 Reborn. There was people acting out. It was like one person with like 3 different accounts acting out because he didn't like the change. Okay, so it's perfectly a perfect example of that. But change is not always a bad thing. Let me put that out there. Change can be very good. Change is most time necessary to keep yourself sane, if that makes any sense at all. If you stay at the same same job all your life, you could go insane. You know, and that's another thing that could be very scary, changing jobs. You know, you've been working for one company for a couple of years, and you know another company comes along, you decide to change it up and, you know, go with the new company. There's a lot of risk there. You might, you know, your boss could be a butthole. You know, co-workers could suck. The work could be harder. You know, all that good stuff. And immediately it's like, I don't think I should. But think of the positives: higher pay, better hours, closer to home. You know, changes are not always super horrible things, and that's how I'm looking at this upcoming change in power. Change in power. It's not scary to me whatsoever. As a matter of fact, I'm looking forward to it. I've followed the Trump campaign heavily throughout the election, simply because you know, as a Republican, I was, you know, he was a choice, and when it came to be that he was the Republican nominee, I'm kind of like, what do I know about this guy? And I went searching. I don't think it's going to be super horrible, guys. It's not going to be that scary. There is a lot of things that he can't do that a lot of people are saying. You know, people always forget that there is checks and balances. You know, there's two other branches of the law of the government. I almost said the law of the government that have a say as well. So it's not going to be, oh my God, dictator running wild up in the Oval Office. So calm down. For the younger crowd, because I have a lot of following in the younger crowd, you know, a change that could be very scary to you is moving, and you know, children are more susceptible to the acting out sort of thing when it comes to change. Just know, you know, it sucks. You know, you're changing schools, you're changing homes, you're changing your friends, but you never know. You know, that one friend that you thought was a great friend, you know, just ups and stops talking to you. Meanwhile, you met a cooler friend. You know, a friend that is a better influence on you. Stuff like that. You know, it's not always horrible. It's not always horrible for a move. Now, I did say that this also relates to my channel, and this is going to be the hard part of the video for me. There's been a lot of changes in the channel recently. It's been slight, you know, it hasn't been glaring, except for one thing, and people have started to pick up on it, and I felt like I needed to address it. I addressed it somewhat. I got more information and more confirmation of what's going on, so I feel like I need to address it more for you guys. So when change comes along, we're not always like the moving, or maybe even your job. Maybe you were forced to change jobs. You know, change doesn't always come by choice. Change comes by force sometimes, and pretty much, you know, change in the channel. The changes happen because people have been forced to change their habits, change, you know, how they do, and B, change in, I guess, who you want to hang out with, if that makes any sense. A lot of people have noticed that there's been a huge absence in the channel recently. There has been many of common people that are no longer coming in and hanging out with us. Now, to my knowledge, there has not been a falling out between everybody. It was just something came along, someone had to change some things up in order to, how do I put it without going too much detail, had to change things up for themselves personally, and that's perfectly well and fine. Now, other people have chosen not to stick around. They chose to jump ship, if that makes any sense, which again, perfectly okay. There's always been personalities that did not mix well within the Outcast Posse. There have been heads butted. There has been clashes. You guys have seen some of that in live streams. You know, it happens when you have a group as big as ours got. It happens that there are a few people that don't see eye to eye, and that's perfectly fine. You know, so right now there has been a huge change within the Outcast Posse. What remains is the ones you see coming in. You know, those guys that are hanging out: JT, Tyler, Monty, Dalton, those guys. Chris, he's been coming in and hanging out a lot lately. Those are really the remnants of the Outcast Posse. Everybody is off doing their own thing, and you know, it's perfectly fine. Changes happen. So currently, that's who is in the Outcast Posse currently. Just those listed. Now, if everybody, you know, the ones that aren't listed choose to come back, it's, you know, it's perfectly fine. Change can always happen, or the change could be, what's that word I'm looking for? A short-lived change, you know, just something. I don't know. I'm rambling now, but it's not all that negative, because I mean, now where we had at one night we had 15 people in TeamSpeak. It was just a total chaos, people talking all over each other, so on and so forth. Now it's much more peaceful and relaxful. You guys get more interaction with me on Friday nights. You guys get to hear me more instead of hearing, you know, 1,000 different conversations going on at one time. You know, I look at it that way as a positive. Yes, it sucks. I miss hanging out with some of my friends, but it's perfectly okay. I understand why they don't hang out anymore. I look at the positive changes. You know, a lot quieter evenings. You know, not having to scream in my microphone for you guys to hear me, or even to be heard in TeamSpeak. You know, we're the core guys now. We're branching out into other games. You know, we have a lot of the same tastes, I guess you can say, when it comes to gaming. We find games that we can all play, and not, you know, just not like 4-player games. You know, there's a lot of stuff that we used to do as Outcast Posse where we have, you know, 5 or 6 people wanting to play, but only have 4 slots. You know, we're expanding out into new games, and that's part of the change coming to the channel. Is, you know, there's gonna be a lot more games once we get stuff figured out. Like Outcast State Troopers is one of them, where we've expanded off of that. You know, we're working to get that to be somewhat of a replacement for FS91. And yes, FS91 will end, guys. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it at all. It will come to an end once we get the stuff we need to do basically everything into a GTA game. Right now there's stuff out there, but it's single player only, and that stuff doesn't work within the 5 Reborn server that we use. So once, you know, the guy, and I gotta hand it to 5 Reborn, they are working hard on getting everything to work properly, scripts and everything. They are doing an amazing job, and we're just kind of waiting for that. You know, FS91 gives us a lot of problems. A lot of guys can run modded GTA and cannot run FS91 because there's so many problems with it. We don't have any plans right now to move things over to FS17 because it'll just be as bad. So we're looking into maybe moving FS91 into like GTA 911, you know, stuff like that. But you know, changes will come. Changes will, because nothing stay. You know, the good things do come to an end as well. That's how I'm looking at Outcast Posse right now. We're split into separate groups, pretty much, if that makes sense. You know, as in who, you know, the gaming style of everyone, if that makes any sense at all. It does to me. Like, preferences in game. That's I was ready to say flavors, and I was like, no, preferences in games is pretty much what's dividing us all. So, I wish them the best. I really do, and I look forward to the day they decide to come and hang out again. It'll be, what do I do here? It'll be a fun day when they do, but you know, it's not all that bad. There are positives to thinning the herd, if that makes any sense. Now that's done and over with. I don't know what else I was going to say there. I don't. That's pretty much going to do it for the day. I want to address change because there's a lot of people that are finally starting to question where certain people have been, why they don't show up anymore, and I wanted to do a video addressing that. There's a lot of people who are afraid of the upcoming inauguration and what's going to result. Everybody thinks day one there's going to be nukes flying overhead and everything. It's not going to happen, guys. Calm down. Change is not always that bad. Could it be? Yeah, but it's not going to be that bad, guys. Trust me on this one. But anyway, that's all I got for you guys today. If you liked the video, be sure to leave a like down below. If you guys want to see future Let's Plays, Let's Talks, be sure to click subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.